Never let your external reality dictate how you feel on the inside. Now, what does this mean? We'll find out. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Noah, back again with another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I have really appreciated all of the support that I've been getting on my videos these past couple of days. It has been amazing, the amount of love and just acknowledgement of my channel that I have received from you guys. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. It really means a lot to me. And so with this video, I'm going to be talking about why we shouldn't let our external reality dictate how we feel on the inside. Now, oftentimes, our external reality, we don't really have a lot of control of. There's a lot of things that we see that go on in our life that actually affect us on a physical, a mental, and sometimes on a spiritual level, And the important thing to note about all this is that no matter what your external situation is like, you don't have to let it impact how you feel, because your happiness comes first, you know what I mean? And, just because things in your life might be looking a little bit shaky right now, doesn't mean that is permanent, you know what I mean? Life is always temporary, everything is always changing, and so when we are open to change, it can be a lot easier for us to deal with our external reality. Sometimes when we look at news outlets or articles on social media, it can make us feel bad about some of the things that are happening within this world, but something that you have to realize is that a lot of the news and a lot of these broadcasting stations, they're only taking a very, very, very small, filtered fraction of what's actually going on. So a lot of the times you hear about negative news, but in reality, there's actually a lot more positive things that are going on in the world that we actually don't get to hear about and see. And so just that fact alone should make you feel a little bit better about, your external reality, and the important thing about this is that when we kind of let our external reality affect us, then it can be hard for us to, bounce back. And that is where alchemy comes into play. Alchemy is the transformation of matter. You know what I mean? It's turning something negative into something positive. And when you become an alchemist, you know what I mean? Life becomes favorable to you, you know what I mean? And meaning that you don't let anything from your external reality or anything that's going on in your reality affect how you're feeling. And this is super important when we are trying to manifest a better life and abundance and prosperity into our life, because when we are able to transmute negative energy into something positive, then that is when our life does a whole 180, you know what I mean? And how are we able to turn things from being negative into positive? It's all about perspective. That's the number one key to alchemy, is having perspective. Alchemists in the medieval times, they would transmute regular metals into silver and gold, and that was their power. And the number one thing that helped them with this is understanding that the metals that they were working with were already great. You know what I mean? They just had to do a couple of things to change how they actually look. You know what I mean? But they saw that the metals that they were given, they were very positive about them. That's how they were able to turn them from regular metals into silver and gold. And that's kind of like what happens in the human sense, you know what I mean, in the human experience, right? Oftentimes when we don't necessarily get a job offer, right? A job maybe declines us, or maybe we get rejected from somebody who we are very much attracted to, right? Oftentimes we look at these as negative things, but in reality, you know, why would you want to work for someone who doesn't want to work for you? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want you? And so we can easily change our perspective just slightly to see that, you know, because that job isn't hiring us, that means that I'm not a good fit for them, you know, and because I'm not a good fit for them, they would never be a good fit for me, right? And so that's kind of what I like to picture in my head whenever I think about interviews, you know what I mean? My mom was talking to me about this, and she said that the people who are interviewing you when you're trying to get a certain job are interviewing you, but you're also interviewing them to make sure that you're a good fit for them, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to take any old job that you might end up regretting down the line or not wanting to work for, right? And so this is very important when we think of our life and our reality, because in reality, you know, the girl or guy who rejected us, you know, a lot of the times we would look at it as a bad thing. But when we change our perspective and say, oh, they don't want to be with us, you know, that's better for me because I don't want somebody in my life who doesn't want me, you know, and that is the huge part about alchemy that can transform your life and allow you to live the life of your dreams. Because when we are able to look at our life this way, we're able to realize that there aren't really any problems in our life. You know, the only thing that makes our life a problem is us, you know, our perspective on certain things. And so take this with you from this video, that, you know, anything in your life doesn't have to be a problem, you know, and even if there is problems in your life, there are always solutions. You know, that is where alchemy comes in. It's turning a negative situation, quote unquote negative situation, into a positive one. And that is how you can transform your life and live the life of prosperity and abundance. When you realize that a lot of the things that are happening to you, you don't have control over. For one, you know, a lot of the problems that we see in our life, we don't really have control over. And, you know, because of this, it should make us a lot less stressed out, you know. And for number two, there's always going to be a solution to the problems, you know. If it's not in our control, you know, the universe is always going to set you up in your life to succeed. You know, the universe would never set you up for failure. You know what I'm saying? And so that is the important part about not letting your external reality dictate how you feel on the inside. You know, we don't have to listen to all these negative news outlets every single day, you know. And that is why I recommend minimal to no news consumption, because it is a very, very filtered and a very, very fragmented part of actual reality. You know, it's what they want us to see, but it's not necessarily how we are living our life, you know. And so that's the important thing about not letting your external reality dictate how you feel, because you can always change how you feel in here, right? But you can't always change what goes on out there, you know, in your external reality. And your wealth and all of your knowledge and everything good in your life comes from within. You know, happiness isn't an outside job, you know what I mean? Happiness is an inside job, meaning that it requires our attention and our focus and our love, you know. And so that is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. If you want to purchase products, amazing wellness products that I've been using for the past month, I actually took some this morning that give you all day natural energy, as well as boosting your immune system naturally. You can click the first link in my description to get your hands on some of those. And with that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. If you have any video suggestions that you want me to do, make sure to comment them below in the description box. Thank you for all the love, and peace, love, and happiness. Mwah. Here's Yoda to say goodbye. Yoda. Mwah.